So you weren't. It wasn't over the thing that you had. Didn't you have some fight with one of the agents when someone else started the fight, but you ended up finishing the fight? Because we always hear that was the reason.
Well, I'm gonna tell you the whole true story, and this what took place because I know that I know there, I heard there was a lot of rumors stuff like that. It
Yeah.
was
The guy was a
Troy,
hockey fighter, right? It's not
yeah,
like he was just a suit. He used to be a defenseman. And
right.
yeah.
This Troy guy, it was Vince's executive of the company, and we was over England or somewhere, and we was at this bar one night, and they were getting food and drinking and going on, and they had a piano there. Well, I took over on the piano, and I started with just playing songs and stuff, and playing, and uh, and the bartender, well, the owner of the bar came over and said, "Coco, do you mind going over and stopping your guys from fighting over here? I think they're getting ready to fight. I don't want my place all busted up and everything." It was Shawn Michaels and Jim Troy.
Oh
They
wow.
was they was nose to nose with
You
each
were
other.
buddies with the Rockers, right? Marty told me you guys are buddies, right?
Yeah, yes, oh yeah. We was good friends and stuff like that. And so well, I didn't think nothing about it. I went over there. I said, "Come on, guys. Hey, man, we way over here." I said, let's don't get in trouble. Let's don't do this, man. Come on, we'll get locked up over here and we'll never get out. And Jim Troy was all in Shawn Michaels' face, and they were spitting each other's face and all that. Said and then when I came over there, that Troy said, "Now here's another MF that don't have no damn guts." And say, "I'm gonna see if he got any guts. Here's another MF." And I'm going, "Come on, Troy, let's break this up, man." And he said, "You know what? You guys are nothing but damn cowards or whatever. Vince McMahon pays me a whole lot of fucking money and to put over with you phony ass fucking wrestlers." Woo. Well, before then, he done had trouble. He done had problems with Huck over there already. Cause Huck was, he said, "Coco, man," he was telling me about it earlier about him. He said, "Man, I feel like just slapping the hell out of him big time." And I hate to use those words in vain like that, but that's sometimes when I talk about it, I can just look at Jim Troy the way how he's saying it. So, wrestling fan, excuse me of my saying these words, but uh, but anyway, he turned around. He turned around and haul off and was talking, and he said, "Vince McMahon pays me a whole lot of effing money to put up with you phony ass wrestlers. I'm a hockey player. I'm a lot tougher than you phony ass wrestlers." And I said, "Okay, Troy, I understand that." I said, we over in this country. We're not in the United States. I said, "Come on, man. Let's uh
This
let's
is
get
him,
out of here."
right? This guy beside Vince, that's him.
Yes. And I said, so he turned around again. He said, "Well, let me see if you got any guts and all that stuff." And then he hauled off me and slapped me. When he slapped me, I just, that's when everything just came out of me and just said, "Was Troy?" I said, "I'm not Jesus Christ. I can't turn the other cheek." And that's when I turned around and I just lit in on him big time right there. And and uh and then Sean was just standing there at the bar and wasn't saying nothing, you know. And I told Sean too. I said, "Sean, why didn't you fight the guy? Why didn't you stand up for?" I didn't want to get in trouble. I said, "He's spitting all in your face and everything and all that." And then when I told Marty, that's when Marty got mad at Sean, and they got into it. And so Then now we get back to the store. Now we get back to we go to Paris. Jim Troy goes home. We go to Paris. Pat Patterson said, Koko, Vince is on the phone. He wants to talk to you. And I'm going, okay. So Vince gets on the phone. Koko, what the hell are you trying to do? Beat up my executive and everything. He said, man, what is wrong with you? You went crazy on him. He said, have you seen him? He said, man, you blacked his eyes out and everything and all that. I said, Vince, I said, can you listen to me? I said, I have my side of the story. Please listen to me, Vince. And Vince just kept going on and all that. And then he finally settled down and said, okay, what is your side of the story? And I told Vince, I said, Vince, I went over to break him and Shawn Michaels up. It wasn't my fight. Troy was Troy was crazy. He said he didn't have to put up with the phony ass wrestlers and all that because, he puts up with them because you pay him a lot of money. You pay him a lot of money to put up with phony ass wrestling. He's a hockey player. He's a lot tougher than the phony ass wrestlers. I said, I didn't fight him for that. I fought him because he turned around and slapped me. I said, Vince, what am I supposed to do? And so Vince said, well, I can't have this going on. I can't have my executive beating up on the wrestlers. I can't have the wrestlers beating on my executive. So why don't you pack your bags and you go home? I said, okay. So this is where my good friend Hulk Hogan came in at. Hulk Hogan, I told Hulk about what was going on. And Hogan said, really? He said, that's okay, Koko. Go ahead and go home. He said, but I tell you what, if I don't get you back, I said, if you don't come back in a couple of weeks, if you don't come back, I promise you that I will quit WWE WWF. I will quit. He said, when I talk to Vince, I'm gonna tell Vince I will quit if you don't bring him back. You know what? He brought me back.
Wow.
2 weeks later, I was back in there. They was calling me and all that stuff. But see, that's what I'm saying. Terry never forgot. I was good to Terry, and he knew I was. I helped train him and everything, but I stood up for what I believed in and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not the toughest guy in the world or whatever, but I always will say this, Hannibal, that I was. It's like this: you don't know how you look until you get your picture took.
Right.